off and being violently sick, which I mean there's an awful memory, but it obviously stands out. If you were lucky, you know, that someone would sort of swing the car around, and that was a big deal. And the lads who worked on the night used to like try and impress the girls. So there was a bunch of girls in one of the cars. They would actually come and swing me around relentlessly.
I think I would have swinging right in the city. Well, in my case, I started in probably 1971 working for the Crow family. At that point I worked on the Jets, on the Grand National, the Gallopers, which were their main rides. Then for a fellow called Charles Beach, who came to Whitby Bay. That was the Demon's Den, the House of Fun, Speedway at the time. After that we went on to the Dodge Rooms and eventually on to the Walser.
But this was the house that I lived in from being born. I lived in that house.
And the way into
the Spanish City
was up
on the top corner or the bottom corner. Most people that lived on this street had shows, rides, or whatever you want to call it, in the Spanish City. So we were basically one family. You know, we went house to house. As I say, as a child, my mum, my dad, all of our family were in there. So I just used to wander about, 18 months, and come and go. If I was ever lost, they always found me in the little cinema that was in there, fast asleep on the floor somewhere.
I mean, going back, again, 1962, we lived in Elwood Grove. Next to the Spanish City, so we basically came up the house into the Spanish City. So from that age, I knew everybody, all the owners, all the rides. To the point I used to free ride everything as a kid anyway. And it was just a natural progression as we got older to take work in the city.
There's like a skate park on one side, and they had like a bar behind the skate park. So of course all the young ones would come down and skateboard, and it was quite good. It was an alternative little nightclub. And then once they got the grants to get the big dome done, they sort of moved it across into the big dome, which was a bit more upmarket than Fast Eddie's was.
Yeah, and we developed that. We've got on bands and DJs and that kind of thing in there.
On a few occasions I was in there listening to bands. It was great. Lovely auditorium and great for sound, and you could have a nice drink and you could listen to a band, and it was lovely, good atmosphere and not too big.
It would get nice when we really rushed up, particularly if there was a big band like Ash or Robert Plant played one night, and it was amazing. You know, there was a lot of people there and people just couldn't believe that Robert Plant was in Whitby Bay, you know. It's a bit bizarre when you think about it.
It was a lovely place. I mean, when we went the first time, we never thought we would say something as magnificent as what it was to us. I mean, it was, Whitby Bay, look at that. You know, the dome, the white dome. And of course, when we used to go along this, further onto the sand and look back, it was a magnificent building. Taj Mahal, to us, was more or less what it looked like, you know. Having seen pictures of Taj Mahal, and then seeing Whitby Bay, where Whitby Bay was real. Taj Mahal was only a vision sort of thing.
When people came for holidays, once you saw the dome, you knew you were in Whitby Bay.
There's also no postcards and things.
It's on, yes.
It is on a lot of the pictures,
You know, it is.
You look at it, it's got its own future, hasn't it? You know, it's like, always recognise, you're always going to recognise that. If you ever see pictures of Whitby Bay, this is one of the things that you think about, isn't it? The dome down at Whitby Bay.
Every time I walk along the seafront at Whitby Bay, which is not very often these days, but I tend to get along there every now and again, and I look up at the Spanish City there, and I think of the days when I used to play in the Rotunda, and I used to play in the Emperor's Ballroom, and there were heady days. It was the days of the big bands, and Jos Q. Atkinson, who ran a musician's agency, had his brother Harry in charge of a band down in the Empress. It was a big band, and they played Glenn Miller stuff, they played Les Brown stuff, and they played for public dancing.
Oh, the Empress. Well, as we came through, up these stairs with the pretty lights, into the payback where our leg would be, we just stood. Oh,
beautiful floor, beautiful, poles all around, square, beautiful square floor, and like poles round like that, right down the side, and then like a walk round with settees at the back.
But I would think it would be a few hundred people would congregate in the Empress on a Saturday night to dance. And there was specifically a building that was for dancing. Very nicely done out, and it had a crystal ball in the centre which put coloured lights on the floor and that sort of thing. And the lighting was especially designed for dancing. They could dim the lights and whatever. You had a very special floor which was designed for dancing, polished floor.
The first time,